مرحبا يا يوم عيد مرحبا يوم سعيد مرحبا يا يوم عيد مرحبا يوم سعيد مرحبا عيد के दिन مرحبا عيد سعيد. Thanks to Allah for this wonderful day of Eid.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله الصلاة والسلام عليك يا حبيب الله الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا نور الله. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, we welcome you to another episode of our series Blessings of Supplication. Let's start our episode by listening to an excellence of reciting durood upon the Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. The Rasul of Rahmah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam has said, the one before whom I am mentioned and he does not recite salat upon me, he abandons the path to Jannah. Tubu ilallah, astaghfirullah, sallu ala al-habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, from this blessed hadith, we learn the importance of reciting salat upon the Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam when his blessed name is mentioned in front of us. Similarly, when we hear Sallu ala al-Habib, we should recite durood upon the Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Moving forward, let's make some good intentions before starting this episode. The Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam has stated, Niyatul mu'mini khayrun min amali, that as a believer's intention is better than his action. Therefore, before doing any good deed, we should make as many good intentions as possible. So, dear viewers, make as many good intentions as possible before listening to this episode. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, our topic for today is the effect of a mother's dua or the effect of a mother's supplication. Mother is a unique gift from Allah Azza wa Jal. The dignity of mother has been mentioned in the Holy Quran and a Hadith. One who obeys his mother succeeds in attaining the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal and the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. A mother sacrifices her comfort for the comfort of her children. Child's body is formed from the mother's blood. For many years, a mother takes care of her child. A mother spends the whole night awake for the sake of her sick child, even in very cold winter. Mother wanders in expensive hospitals and clinics for the sake of her sick child. A mother devotes her entire life for her child, for making the future of her child better. To serve mother entails her child to enter paradise. It is important for a child to keep his mother happy. It is impossible to be free from the rights of a mother. A companion radiallahu ta'ala anhu once humbly said to the Holy Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam, on a path, stones were so hot that a piece of meat would have roasted if it had been put on them. I carried my mother on my shoulders for 6 miles. Am I free from the rights of my mother? The beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam replied, perhaps this could be the return for one of the contractions she endured in labor. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Sayyidina Abdul Rahman bin Ahmad rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi has said that once an elderly woman came to Sayyidina Ibn Makhlad rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi and humbly said, my young son has been imprisoned by Romans. I have a small house. Other than that, I have no possessions. I cannot sell it off. Therefore, you ask any wealthy person to free my son by paying some fidya, that is ransom, because now I am spending restless days and sleepless nights. Consoling her, he rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi said, I am trying to solve your problem. The narrator said, when the elderly women left, he rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi sat lowering his head and his blessed lips were moving as if he was reciting something. After a few days, the same elderly woman came to him with her young son and making dua for him started saying, Alhamdulillahi Azza wa Jal, my son has come back safely and he will also state his account of journey for you. Son came and said, With the group of prisoners, I was in prison of the Roman king who had many orchards. He would send us every day to work in the orchard, and in the evening, he would put us back in the prison. One day when after Maghrib, we were going back to the prison after working in the orchards, suddenly the strong chains tied around my feet broke themselves and fell onto the ground. The narrator said that the young man mentioned the same time and the same day when the chains broke, on which the elderly women came to Sayyidina Ibn Makhlad rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi for dua. The soldiers asked me, that is the son of the elderly woman, did you break the chains? I replied, no. They fell onto the ground from my feet after being broke themselves. Having heard the young man, the soldiers became very surprised. He then immediately called a blacksmith and said, tie this young man tightly with chains. The blacksmith tied chains tightly around me. I had gone just a few steps. The chains broke again and fell from my feet onto the ground. At this, everyone became quite surprised. They called their monks, that is religious guides, and informed them about the whole situation. Having heard all the conversation, the monks asked me, is your mother alive? I replied in affirmative. After hearing me, the monk turned to them and said, Allah Azza wa Jal has answered his mother's dua. The soldiers said, when Allah Azza wa Jal has freed you, how can we tie you tightly with chains? Saying this, the Romans released me and helped me join Muslims. In this way, the young man was released by virtue of the dua of his mother and the blessing of the Waliullah, Sayyidina Ibn Makhlad rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi. Subhanallah Azza wa Jal, have you noticed how effective Allah Azza wa Jal has made the duas of a mother? When she makes dua for her children, Allah Azza wa Jal bestows acceptance due to her raised hands and answers to her duas for her children. Even by virtue of the blessing of the heartfelt duas of mother, Allah Azza wa Jal removes troubles and trials from the children. So fortunate are the people whose parents are alive and are happy with them. What great fortune those children possess who help their parents get eligible of their duas by looking after them and become deserving of the divine pleasure. Therefore, if we want the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal and His beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam, and our parents make dua for us, we should give importance to our parents, remember their favors and avoid the things which are against their mood, look after them in every way, treat them well, fulfill their permissible needs, obey every permissible order of theirs, especially when they have grown old. Sallu al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, moving forward with our topic, let's listen to something interesting. One reason why Amirul Mu'mineen Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala and who was called Atiq has been stated that no child of her mother would remain alive. When he was born, she took him to Baitullah Sharif and made the following dua: O my Lord, if this son of mine is free from death, bestow him upon me. Afterwards, he was called Atiq. Sayyidina Bayazid Bistami rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi has said, during a very cold night, my mother asked me for a glass of water. I went to bring a glass of water, but she had fallen asleep when I came back. I did not feel it appropriate to wake her up. Therefore, I stood near her holding the glass of water, waiting for her to wake up so that I could present the glass of water to her. I stood there for a long time. Meantime, some water spilled on my finger and froze, turning into ice. When my respected mother woke up, I presented the glass of water to her. My finger had been stuck to the glass because of the ice. As I detached my finger from the glass, its skin came off, causing bleeding. Seeing this, my mother asked, "What is this?" I told her the whole story. Listening to it, she raised her hands and made dua, "O Allah Azza wa Jal, I am pleased with him. You also be pleased with him." Subhanallah Azza wa Jal. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, let's listen to an interesting parable regarding the mother's dua and the effect of a mother's dua. Shaykh Tariqat Amir Ahl Sunnat Allama Ilyas Attar Qadi Damat Barkazum Aliyah has stated his booklet Oceanic Dome. One Sayyidina Musa ala Nabina wa alayhi salatu wasalam humbly requested in the blessed quote of Allah Azza wa Jal, "O Allah Azza wa Jal, show me the person who will be my companion in paradise." Allah Azza wa Jal said, "Go to such and such city. you will find there so and so meat trader who is your companion in paradise. Therefore, Sayyidina Musa ala nabina wa alayhi salatu wassalam went to the city to meet the meat trader. Despite not knowing him, considering him to be a traveler and a guest, the meat trader invited Sayyidina Musa karimullah ala nabina wa alayhi salatu wassalam to his house. When both of them sat down to eat, he placed a very big basket beside him. He would eat one morsel himself and put two in the basket. In the meantime, someone knocked on the door. The meat trader stood up and went out. Meanwhile, Sayyidina Musa kalimullah ala nabiyina wa alayhi salatu wasalam looked in the basket and found a very old man and woman inside. As soon as they looked at Sayyidina Musa kalimullah ala nabiyina wa alayhi salatu wasalam, a smile spread across their face. They testified the prophethood of Sayyidina Musa kalimullah ala nabiyina wa alayhi salatu wasalam and passed away immediately. When the meat trader came back and looked at his deceased parents in the basket, he understood the whole matter. Then, kissing the hands of Sayyidina Musa ala nabiyina wa alayhi salatu wasalam, he humbly said, "It seems that you are a Nabi of Allah Azza wa Jal." Sayyidina Musa ala nabiyina wa alayhi salatu wasalam, Sayyidina Musa ala nabiyina wa alayhi salatu wasalam asked, "How did you judge it?" He replied, "My parents would make the following dua every day. O Allah Azza wa Jal, bless us with the death while we are beholding Sayyidina Musa kalimullah ala nabiyina wa alayhi salatu wasalam. Due to their sudden death, I judged that you must be Sayyidina Musa kalimullah ala nabiyina wa alayhi salatu wasalam." The meat trader humbly said further, "When my mother ate food, she would get delighted and make the following dua for me. O Allah Azza wa Jal, make my son the companion of Sayyidina Musa ala nabina wa alayhi salatu wasalam in paradise." Sayyidina Musa ala nabina wa alayhi salatu wasalam said, "Congratulations, Allah Azza wa Jal has made you my companion in paradise." Subhanallah Azza wa Jal. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, have you noticed when a mother makes dua for a child, how its blessed effects appear? That not only a meat trader became Jannati by virtue of his mother's dua, but he was also blessed with the good news of becoming the neighbor of a Nabi in paradise. Subhanallah Azza wa Jal, Subhanallah. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, surely it is a must for children to obey their parents. However, if parents order them to do anything contrary to Sharia law, such as shaving the beard, etc., so in this case, Sharia has forbidden to obey their order because it is not permissible to obey the creation by disobeying Allah Azza wa Jal. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, unfortunately, due to a lack of Islamic knowledge, there are a number of such unwise people who, instead of sacrificing their joy for the sake of their parents, fulfill their carnal desires by deceiving their parents. We should refrain from this and we should obey our parents at all times. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, concluding this episode, we make dua in the court of Allah Azza wa Jal that may Allah Azza wa Jal grant us the ability and the tawfiq to always obey our parents in all the permissible orders that they give us and to fulfill our parents' needs and wants. And may Allah Azza wa Jal forgive us and our parents. Ameen bijahi Nabi Ameen sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. May Allah Azza wa Jalla accept all our du'as. Ameen bijahi Nabi Ameen sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam.
مرحبا يا يوم عيد مرحبا يوم سعيد مرحبا يا يوم عيد مرحبا يوم سعيد مرحبا عيد के दिन مرحبا عيد سعيد. Give thanks to Allah for this wonderful day of Eid.